Gemma here from the Country Kitchens team. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to master some fundamental cooking techniques that are essential for every cook. I'm going to be sharing some of my tips and tricks for basic cooking skills, including boiling and simmering, stir frying and steaming. So stay tuned to learn more. Firstly, I'm going to talk about boiling and simmering. These are actually 2 degrees of the same process, but it's really important to understand the difference between them. If you're boiling when you think you're simmering and vice versa, this could have a negative impact on your recipe. Boiling is typically used for foods that need to be cooked quickly, such as pasta or maybe vegetables like potatoes. Simmering is usually used for foods that generally take a lot longer to cook, like a sauce, a soup, or a braised recipe. When we talk about simmering, we mean that a bubble will break through the surface every second or so, and no more than that. In contrast to a simmer, when we talk about boiling, the whole pot is in action and it's rolling and churning. You can see here that the bubbles are moving rapidly, so it's ready to add in your pasta or vegetables. A tip to bring your pot to a boil quickly is to start with hot water and then place a lid on the top to keep the heat from escaping. The next technique we're going to cover is stir frying. This is a great way to cook fast, fresh and fun meals. Stir frying involves tossing bite-sized pieces of food in a wok with a little oil at high heat. It's a great technique if you have a busy schedule, as it can take as little as 5 minutes to cook. The high temperature required for stir frying sears food quickly as it preserves the natural juices. It only takes minutes, so vegetables stay bright and crisp and meat is browned and tender. A wok is specifically designed for stir frying, as the sloped sides make it easy to toss the food without accidentally turning it out of the pan. If you don't have a wok, a saute or a chef pan with sloped sides can work as well. The biggest tip for stir frying is to make sure that you have all of your food prepped before you start cooking. Stir frying is a fast process and requires attention, so you don't want to start and stop to cut other ingredients once you begin cooking. In terms of the type of food best suited to stir frying, most vegetables cut into thin bite-sized pieces work well. Today I'm using carrot, capsicum, zucchini and onion. Try to cut pieces into similar shapes and size so that they will cook evenly. In terms of meat, choose tender cuts such as chicken breast, flank steak or pork tenderloin cut into small strips. Avoid using larger or tougher cuts which require long, slow cooking to become tender. Choose an oil that can be heated to a high temperature, such as canola, peanut or rice bran oil. Avoid extra virgin olive oil or butter, as these will burn easily. Preheat your wok for a few minutes until it's very hot. You can tell your wok is ready when you start to see a little smoke come off the surface, or when you flick a bit of water into the pan and it sizzles rapidly and evaporates. Add your oil and rotate the wok so it coats the surface. Stir fry your meat or vegetables in small batches and don't overcrowd the wok. If you add too much at once, you risk a soggy result. Add denser and thicker vegetables first, such as carrot, followed by smaller, thinner or faster cooking types such as zucchini, so that everything is done at the same time. Once the food is in the wok, it needs to be continuously tossed to prevent it from burning. A lid for your wok can come in handy if you have dense vegetables that need to be briefly steamed at the end of cooking. The final technique we're going to cover is steaming. Stovetop steaming is a popular and healthy cooking method that is also an easy technique to master. Even if you don't have a designated steamer, you can improvise with equipment you probably already have in your kitchen at home. Steaming cooks food more gently than almost any other method. Because the liquid never touches the food, it's less likely to jostle, overcook, or absorb too much water. This means food retains its shape, colour, and texture. Steaming is a great light cooking technique because it involves no fat. And unlike boiling, which leaches water-soluble nutrients from food, steaming keeps most of the nutrients as well as the flavour and colour intact. Steaming is ideal for foods that need moisture, such as most vegetables or lighter proteins like chicken or most fish or shellfish. Steaming requires little more than a pan with a well-fitting lid and a rack to support the food over the liquid in the pan. Creating a good seal with the lid is crucial for holding in steam. I'm just using a metal steaming insert from my cookware set today, but you could improvise with a metal colander if you don't have one at home. For foods that cook longer than 15 minutes, check the level of the water occasionally, as it will eventually boil away. When the food is cooked, open the lid away from you so that the steam isn't released into your face. If you want to get creative with your steaming, try adding aromatics or flavours into the steaming liquid, such as lemongrass or ginger for fish. And that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more basic cooking technique videos coming soon.